Then on Sports Central, we'll be going over 5 reasons why the Oklahoma Sooners will go back to the college football playoff in the 2020-21 season, and why they would win a national championship. Once again, these will be 5 reasons, and they will be in no particular order. So that being said, let's look at your number 1, and it's going to be Kennedy Brooks, their running back. And as you know, he passed up an opportunity to go to the NFL draft to return for his junior season. And as you know, I mean, he would have been a great draft pick. Certainly, he would have gone quite possibly in the earlier rounds. But yeah, he's going to be returning to Oklahoma for his junior season, so that's some really good news for Oklahoma. He had over 1,000 yards of rushing in the 2019 season, and he was easily one of the best running backs in the Big 12, if not the best. So yeah, certainly he's going to be a big impact on this team heading into 2020. He also led the Big 12 in yards per attempt. He had over 1,000 yards once again with 6 touchdowns and a 6.6 yard average. So yeah, certainly he was a major player for this team last season. And yeah, it would not shock me a single bit to see him be the best running back in the entire Big 12 this season. And quite honestly, he could be the best running back in the nation. Like, he could definitely be up there with some of the best ones in the nation. I'm sure he'll be a really good draft pick heading in to the 2020 season. Moving on to your number 2, it's going to be the offensive line for Oklahoma. They only lose one offensive lineman from the 2019 season in R.J. Proctor. And yeah, they had the first or second best offensive line in the Big 12 in 2019. Yeah, there's no doubt on that as well. So yeah, it's really an offensive line is very important to a team, very important to an offense. So, and very important to a quarterback as well. So yeah, considering they're going to have more of a new quarterback under center next season, with Jalen Hurts not being under center anymore. Yeah, certainly for Oklahoma, an offensive line is going to be very important. And certainly I think they will have one of the best offensive lines in the Big 12 in 2019. Once again, they only lose one offensive lineman, which is going to be huge. I mean, out of most teams you'll see 2, possibly even 3 losses on the offensive line. For Oklahoma, they only have 1. So yeah, some notable recruits for this team. Once again, they got 5 4-star offensive linemen coming in. So their recruiting class for the offensive line is looking really good for them right now. Some notable recruits. Guard Nate Anderson is your top 1 4-star. .962 is what he has. There's another guard in Andrew Rame, which he is also a 4-star. .958. They also bring in a tackle, Anton Harrison, another 4-star. .927. Then lastly, another guard in Arian Parks, 4-star. .920. So yeah, all 4 of those guys certainly will be big impacts on this team. You could definitely expect to see some out of Nate Anderson and Andrew Rame heading into the 2020 season, no doubt on that. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned for those guys. But moving on to your number 3, we got the recruiting. And I've already rambled on about the recruiting quite a bit in this video. They have the 11th ranked recruiting class in the entire nation according to 24/7 Sports right now. They landed 14 4-star recruits. They actually don't have a 5-star recruit, which is a bit surprising considering most schools in the top 10 or 11 do have a 5-star recruit. But the good thing is they do have 14 4-stars, which is higher than normal. So their average recruit rating is .904. That's also really excellent. And their top recruits, once again, you'll see a couple, I think 3 of those top 5 are offensive linemen. Yeah, once again, Nate Anderson and Andrew Rame are actually the top 2 on the team. But they also bring in defensive end Reggie Grimes, also a 4-star. .947. They also bring in a new running back, Seth McGowan, 4-star. .938. So yeah, the running back core is looking really good with Seth McGowan now in there, and you also got once again Kennedy Brooks. So yeah, certainly that's going to be a really good position for this Oklahoma offense. But nonetheless, moving on to number 4, we got the secondary depth for this team. They only lose 1 player from the secondary, and Parnell Motley moving into 2020. They bring in 4 4-star recruits for the secondary, so that's going to be huge as well. And they'll likely have the best defense in the Big 12. I mean, obviously, as we all know, I mean, the Big 12 hasn't always been the best on defense, and Oklahoma, they certainly have a lot of room to improve. I mean, that was definitely shown by how they got beat up by LSU's offense back in the college football playoff last season. But yeah, certainly, I mean, yeah, certainly for Oklahoma, pretty much every Big 12 team has some room to improve on the defense. And I think this secondary is definitely going to be very improved heading into 2020. They got 3 4-star people in the secondary coming in, including Bryson Washington. He's a safety, 4-star. .919. They also bring in a defensive back in Kendall Dennis. Once again, another 4-star. .896. And they also bring in another defensive back in Joshua Eden, also a 4-star. .893. So yeah, they bring in a lot of really good recruits, especially on the defense too. So yeah, you got to watch out for this defense. Once again, I think Oklahoma is going to be right up there with one of the best defenses in the Big 12. I'm not saying in the nation quite yet. Of course, once again, with the Big 12, it's kind of you kind of get mixed up there. But yeah, for Oklahoma, I do expect them to have one of the best defenses in the Big 12, if not the best. Moving on to number 5, this one's going to be Lincoln Riley. You got to include him on this list. He's 36-6 overall. Coaching at Oklahoma between 3 seasons, he actually has gone 12-2 all 3 of his seasons, he's led the team to 3 cultural playoff appearances, and he hasn't made it to a national championship quite yet, but I definitely think that's possible next season. This team still has a ton of talent. Once again, the thing that does concern me a little bit about this team is the quarterback position. If they can get a good quarterback under center, if he plays really well, I certainly think this team has the sky is the limit, quite honestly. Like, Oklahoma's definitely got a ton of potential next season, and especially Lincoln Riley. I mean, he's definitely one of the best coaches in the nation right now as well. I mean, not many people are talking about him, but he's also very young. He's a great recruiter, no doubt on that. All 3 of his seasons at Oklahoma, he's had really good recruiting classes, and that's been a big part as to why this team has done as well as they have. Yeah, once again, he's gone 36-6, and he's gone to 3 college football playoff appearances. And yeah, I do expect him to make a 4th next season, no doubt on that, especially if Oklahoma is the Big 12 champion, which I do expect them to be. But nonetheless, that about wraps up our 5 reasons why Oklahoma would make it to the college football playoff and quite possibly win a national championship. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this. Let me know whether you disagree with anything. But yeah, thank you all for watching once again. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to slap a like on it, subscribe as well. It really helps out the channel, and I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, once again, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more. I will see you all later.